At it again, and we've got one here from Charlie Kirk. It's been a while since we've checked out some Charlie Kirk. Man, been quite some time, but he's back. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you are new. If you would like to help me out even further with the YouTube algorithm too, watch this video to the very end. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, and with that being said, let's dive in.
I just kind of wanted to come here to gain some perspective, but I am a disagreeer. So seeing that we talked about the housing market and we talked about, the price of college, right, going skyrocket in America, if we look to our European neighbors, we're seeing them do a lot better in this sector, and that's because of centralized policies that America hasn't even started on yet. And yet you want like a free market kind of like solution. So how are we failing, and how
do you think they're paying for all? See, and this is one thing that I've learned over this journey is that it's not as simple as, oh yeah, the Oprah Winfrey method. You get some for free. You get some for free. You get some for free. Like, somebody's got to pay for that. And I actually had a conversation. What were we talking about? Crap. I can't remember the exact conversation or what exactly, but it was something about money. And I was like, well, where do you think that's going to come from? I just flat out asked, like, are you willing to have more money taken out of your checks in order for that to happen? I can't remember what we were talking about. I just remember saying, would you be willing to have more money come out of your checks? Because it's not free. They're going to take it from everybody. So do you want to pay more out of your checks? Like, some people don't really think this stuff through. Oh, well, such and such country is, giving out this, and such and such country is doing that. Well, they probably have a lot higher taxes as well. Just saying. And I guarantee you, all these folks talking that crap don't want any more money coming out of their checks. Guarantee it. Just saying.
America hasn't even started on yet. And yet you want like a free market kind of like solution. So how are we failing, and how is Europe succeeding?
Well, yeah, I don't accept the premise, but I appreciate I don't think Europe's succeeding. But let me ask you a question. Do you think that there's too many people going to college in America?
I do not.
Okay. So what's the national college graduation rate? Ballpark. What do you think it is? People going in to how many people graduate? Get a diploma.
Again, I'm not too familiar with the amount.
That's okay. That's fine.
Out.
59%. So 41% of people that go to college don't graduate. By a show of hands, how many know people that dropped out of college? Raise your hand. Every single hand goes up. Right. So we have way too many people going to college in America. So my first thing.
Say that statistic again.
Go to college, don't graduate. What do you think it is? People going in to how many people graduate? Get a diploma.
Again, I'm not too familiar with the amount.
That's okay. That's fine. 59%. So 41% of people that go to college don't graduate.
41% of people that go to college don't graduate. Shout out to Charlie Kirk. See, that's the type of level of information that I want to get to eventually, or knowledge that I want to get to eventually, I should say. I'm not on that level. I had no clue about that statistic. I wouldn't step on stage and try to debate with Charlie Kirk. Well, one, because we agreed, but still. Charlie Kirk just knows too much. 41%, that is insane. But then also, on top of that, and I want to touch on this as well, is not only 41%, but even part of the 59 that actually do graduate, a good portion of that, I would assume, based on my personal experience and what I personally heard from different folks, a lot of them don't even use their degree. I can think of people right now, off the top of my head, that went to college, got a degree, and don't use it. For whatever reason, the few that I'm thinking of found a better paying job, so, but I'm sure there's other people who don't like the work environment, actually don't like the occupation once they actually do graduate. It's not what they thought it was, right? In a multitude of reasons, they have to move or relocate to somewhere else because where they're at doesn't have it, yada, 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 and so forth and so forth. And this whole culture of when you graduate from high school, you have to go to college. you have to go to college. I think that has to change immediately. And I've touched on that in previous videos. I don't think that's the right way to go about things. And I get it. For a generation, that's what people thought, right? But now you've got so many other avenues and ways to be successful. Some of the most successful people on this planet didn't graduate from college. So in order to be successful, whatever that means to you, and I put that in air quotations because successful is different for everybody. For some people, it's just putting a roof over their head. For some people, it's buying the latest Rolls Royce and private jet and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It's different for everybody. And to each his own. I'm not throwing any shade at anybody. Get it how you want to get it. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, in order to be successful, you don't have to go to college. And I hate when people say, well, are you college educated? What the I almost cursed. What does that even mean? Like, because you went to college and you got some fancy piece of paper that makes you smarter than everybody else? No, absolutely not. Stop it.
A show of hands, how many know people that dropped out of college? Raise your hand. Every single hand goes up.
Yeah,
right.
Everybody.
So we have way too many people going to college in America. So my first belief is that we have to decline college enrollment dramatically in this country. I'd say, well, Charlie, what are you going to do? Well, I will agree with you on one thing. It's where the Germans get right. It's that we need more welders and plumbers, electricians, police officers, entrepreneurs, and people that work with their hands. And a lot less people that are kind of in the cloud studying postmodernism, right? So I think college is a racket, largely. I think it's a scam. I think that young people are told to take classes that have no relevancy to their own degree. So let me ask you, have you taken classes that just you think are kind of a waste of time, or do you think it's all just been phenomenally meaningful?
I feel like it's a step in the right career, right? You get the right amount of technical skills and it's also the right amount of soft skills necessary for the career that you're going into. And I feel like saying that people shouldn't be enrolling in college.
There's definitely wasteful classes in college. Most definitely, where you're just like, why do I have to do that? Well, it's a requirement. What? All right. He's definitely lying. Y'all let me know if y'all have ever, for those that went to college, y'all let me know if that ever happened to y'all, where, your degree and the classes taken, and you're like, hold on, wait a minute, why do I have to take this? Why is that a what? Let me know. I've got a strong feeling this guy is not telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth,
Technical skills is also the right amount of soft skills necessary for the, career that you're going into. And I feel like saying that people shouldn't be enrolling in college is actively saying that some people just don't deserve to go to college. And I don't feel like that's the case
at all. I mean, I think college makes you poorer, makes you less happy, and less likely to flourish. So let me ask a question. Show of hands in the room. We'll use the democracy thing, right? How many of you have felt that you took a class that was a total waste of time, waste of money, and all that? Okay. I mean, so this is a scam, man. Like, if I was a financial regulator, I would. It's just like Bernie Madoff stuff, man. It's like every question I ask. Yep, I know people that dropped out. Yep, I took classes that don't have any relevance to your degree. And so the question is, what is the purpose of college, right? So if every college was like Hillsdale College, I'd probably agree with you. If you guys were studying Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, getting deep into the classics, rejecting postmodernism, understanding the beauty of the American founding, then so be it. But if we have to have these extended discussions of Jacques Derrida and Michel Foucault and black-only dormitories and what is critical theory, you guys are getting ripped off. And I believe firmly that, so what is the market response? First and foremost, get a mass, and this might be wishful thinking, get a massive portion of the population not to go to college, go into technical schools, learn to work with their hands, and value muscular labor again in our country, which muscular labor is insulted, talked down to, and I could prove it to you. Go to a suburban family, anyone, maybe in Cherry Creek or in Centennial or whatever. If you go to a regular suburban family, if you get a mom in private, she'll say, I just don't want my kid to work construction. Every suburban mom will say that. No matter what, I don't want my kid to sweat for a living. And okay, that has created a hyper-educated, very unwise generation that's super in debt and has pieces of paper and they mean absolutely nothing. Right? So it's a generation that has borrowed money they don't have to study things that don't matter, to find jobs that don't exist.
And that thinks that that piece of paper gets them into places that they otherwise would never get into. And it's sad because, the trades, you can make a whole lot of money in the trades. I've said this before. If you're the best person in your area, guess who everybody's coming to? If everybody's coming to you, guess what you can charge? Whatever you want. Just saying. Now, obviously, there's a limit to that. I mean, if you're charging, $10,000 to come fix one little section of a broken pipe as a plumber, like, all right, you're probably not going to make a whole lot of money. You know what I'm saying? But you can charge on the upper limits, for sure. For sure. You're the best in your area. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows, hey, if you got any plumbing issues, you better hit up Rich. Rich will get it done for you. He can get it done quick. All right? Now, he ain't the cheapest, okay? But he going to make sure you get right. Y'all know this is the truth. I mean, come on. And it's sad to watch, these younger folks just like skim over the trades like they're nothing. And I'm like, yo, you can make some real good money. Real good money. Especially if you advance from working for somebody in the trades to, having your own business, your own crew, right? Come on. Oh my goodness. I ran into a guy, this is probably some years ago now, that had his own company. And boy, let me tell you something. That guy was loaded. Absolutely loaded. Sheesh. I might need to get into the trades my darn self, Sheesh Louise.
So to answer your question, the whole thing's a racket from how we get young people from high school to try to go to college and all this. We need to disrupt it completely, end federal subsidies, end state subsidies, make college support themselves on their own, make colleges go raise their own donor money for example, if feminist queer theory is super important to you, fine. Go raise the money and support it on your own, right? Don't ask the taxpayer to underwrite that. And by the way, you look at Europe, just to finish the point, they're getting away from woke universities. France has actually decreed, Emmanuel Macron ran on this, he said that we need to try to reject American woke ideology that is seeping into French institutions. So to kind of use your own example, Europe's rejecting the very same thing that I believe has infected American higher education. Thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate it. Thoughtful question. Thank you.
So yeah, do you guys agree? College being a scam? I think there's a lot of folks, like Charlie Kirk said, that don't need to go, that don't need to be there. He gave the statistic of 41% end up not graduating from college. But I think probably closer to 50% of the people on college universities don't actually need to be there at all. Just because they graduate, and actually get their degree doesn't mean they should have been there in the first place. I think a lot of people go because it's the thing that is seen as what you're supposed to do after you graduate from high school. A lot of folks' parents, hey, you got to go to college, get yourself a degree, and I'm not taking shots at anybody necessarily, right? Because that's been the narrative for a very, very long time. But I definitely feel like that is shifting, especially now with the rising cost of college. I mean, my goodness, it's astronomical. It is insane. The rising cost. And, obviously I've talked about why I think that is, these DEI presidents and whatnot. Why do you need a diversity, equity, and inclusion president? Like, what? You already have a president of the university and you need another one for this specific. That's just another salary you got to pay. And once again, nothing is free, so somebody's got to pay for that. College students, you foot the bill. Another $5,000 added on to your tuition, right? Goodness gracious. But yeah, I agree with Charlie Kirk with everything that he said. No government funding. Nothing coming out of our taxes that's going to cover any college costs whatsoever. Okay, colleges can raise the money on their own. All right, we don't need any more of that. And almost 50% of students don't need to be there. And I think you will really see a lot of this wasteful stuff, like the wasted classes and crap, get trimmed out. The fat, so to speak, will be trimmed off, and make it a lot more lean, if that makes any more sense. And I think that's only beneficial for everybody in the equation. Well, I guess maybe not so much the people who have kind of been allegedly scamming folks with these BS classes and BS, presidents of diversity and whatnot. They lose their jobs, but hey, it is what it is. I hate to see people lose their jobs because it's how they make money and feed their families. But supposed to be there for the college students, so it's gonna benefit the college students. But y'all let me know what you thought about all this in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.